Hey everyone, and welcome to IG8Live Esports. Today we're on with APPF1 Racing Community for their final race under their Friday sponsor, the boot room for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and should be a bit of an interesting race. Let's see. So we got about 14 drivers in the session this evening. So let's see, we got Vardy, QB, I see we got Scott, and we got Sweeney Racing as well, Taylor, we got AP, Aaron, we got Spooner, Ace, Mirrorless, Cletus, S-Man, Mitzi, and Gilligan there. So should be a bit of an interesting race, being the final night race of, well, this group of races that they were doing as a part of that. And I know we do have the Friday Championship starting pretty soon, which in the meanwhile that we have cars going on their outlaps there, we can just go through that for just a bit, because that's coming up actually very quickly on us, because I don't think it's next week. I think it's the other Friday that we're starting, with the first race being the British Grand Prix on the, let me see if I got the date correct, that should be on the 5th of March, so that's like 2 Fridays away for us. That's going to be round 1 for the Friday Championship that we have. Round 2, it's going to be the following week for Bahrain. So and then just it follows on. We got about 4 races in March, followed by Austria for round 3 and China as round 4. So quite a number of races to look forward to for next month. And I think we do have something happening next week Friday as well, from what AP did tell me. I'll have to probably check the messages in just a bit to see what that was. Either way, so we got, let's see, we should have some cars starting some fast laps here pretty soon. Let's get our map up on screen, and let's have a look at what is going on so far. I think this will be the first time I'm having the commentator race that Sweeney is in actually racing in. I don't think I've actually done a race that he's been racing in before. He is the other commentator for the community here. So it'll be interesting to see how his racing style is. I did watch a race lab out last night, I think, with one of his league races that he did. It was quite interesting. So let's see where he's going to be on the grid when qualifying is over here. It is just a short qualifying session before we get into the 50% race, and right now we're just down to about just about 50 minutes left already. So time is going away just quite quickly here. So let's see what's going to be happening so far. Yeah, so I know we already have a few drivers starting the hot laps already here. So let's see where they're going to be placed on the leaderboard, and what sort of lap times we're expected to see. It's been quite a while since I've actually done a stream race here at Abu Dhabi, so I'm really not sure what to expect in terms of lap times here. But let's see how competitive this grid is going to be. I think it should be quite a bit competitive with the kind of drivers that we do have here. They're all pretty clean drivers, and they race pretty well. So it should be a bit of an interesting race start as well when we do get to that point. But for now, we're just going to focus on the qualifying and see where everyone's going to be placed out. And I think it's quite a busy grid right now, because I think almost all the cars are out except for Spooner. They're probably still in the pits. He might be getting out in just a bit as well. So yeah, we're just waiting to see a few lap times start to come in here pretty shortly. Let's have a look. I think we're going to start to see some times just about now, and there we go. So Vardy with a 137.2 so far. I got a car in front of Sweeney here at the moment, and I'm not sure who that is at this time, but we'll have a look in just a bit, because I think both cars should be going across the line just after each other. So we'll be expecting to see at least 2 more lap times coming, unless that car is still on an outlap there. So let's see what happens. So that was probably Cletus there, had a 138.5, and we got Sweeney going 134.9. Takes the fastest lap in the session so far, so not bad for his first go on a lap here. Let's have a look who else is currently running here at the moment. Where is AP right now? So I think he is, what sector is he in right now? So he's in sector 3 already, going around. Let's get on board a bit with him and see what's happening. So Mirrorless went 135.4. Not too bad at all from him. So puts him in a provisional second for now, I'll say, but it's still a bit early on in the session. We need quite a few more times coming in. Gilligan went P3, AP went P4, 136.183. Not too bad of a time. And Aaron just went 137.9. Who else is currently running about to finish a lap here. I think someone is running there. Oh, and S-Man has invalidated his lap, so he's gonna have to try again and hopefully get a good time in before this session actually comes off to a close here. So let's see how that is gonna work out there. So Mitzi here, he is I think running probably in sector 2 there at the moment. I think he is. Should be getting a sector 3 pretty shortly. Let's have a look where he's gonna go. Locking up just a little bit, I guess, just pushing just a little bit hard, trying to get a good time in. You can already see what sort of times have been put on the board so far. So Sweeney still holds on to a provisional pole start here with a 134.9. So let's see who's gonna be the fourth driver to actually beat that time, if we're gonna have one do that there. So just under half of the grid left to bring some lap times in, but just waiting on that here right now. Let's see. I think it might have to just wait for Mitzi to get around to get a new time in, and the rest of the drivers, I think they're gonna have to probably get a second go at this. I think we have a few invalidated laps. That means he's going in P3, 135.5. Really not too bad. Quite competitive with Mirrorless and Ace there with their 134.4. And Mirrorless and Ace now going P3. He's just about 500 of a second off of the time that Mirrorless is did. Still, we have Sweeney with a 134, still in a whole new zone with his lap time as yet. No one else able to get in that point as yet. So waiting to see what's going to happen. I think that's an invalidated lap from Scott there right now. Spooner seems to be doing a purple sector too, so might be on a good lap. Where is S-Man right now? He's in sector 3, a little bit ahead of Spoon here. So let's follow on with him as he does finish his lap, and let's see if he can get maybe a better lap in. We'll talk a little bit more about that championship coming up pretty shortly. Oh, and he almost goes straight into the barrier of the pit entrance there. So that's his lap over. And let's follow on with Spooner here. So S-Man's going to have to try that once again. I think we got majority of our cars back into the pit lane at the moment. Spooner goes P2 now, 135.2. We still do not have any driver yet to get into that 124 sweet spot that Sweeney's in. So let's see. I think everyone's gonna be getting on round 2, trying to get a time in, and let's see if they're gonna actually be able to get a faster time and get into those 134s. It's a pretty high 134, not a low one, so it should be a little bit easier for them to get to that point. Seeing we have Spooner up to the 135.2, just about 3/10 off. Let's call it about that, and they should actually be able to get into that spot there, but we'll see how that works. But bit of expectation from Sweeney here this afternoon from me, so let's see how he's going to perform in this session. Seems to be doing good so far though, and yeah, so had a pretty good run on his first lap there. So I think we got a few cars already back out on track already, and yeah, trying to get some better times. So let's see how that's going to work out. We got just about 9.5 minutes left here in qualifying, and yeah, majority of drivers back out on track already, and it's a 14 drivers in the section, so not overly busy of a track. I would say it'd be a little more busy if we did have about 20 drivers in here, but so far so good with what we're looking at. So as it stands, top 3 start is looking to be Sweeney, Spooner, and Mirrorless. They're P1, 2, and 3, but that's definitely might be changing a little bit. We'll see how that works out, because everyone's getting back on track. I think Spooner might be on another hot lap already. Is he? Let's have a look up there and see. Now he's back into the pits, so he'll be getting back out pretty short. I think we probably got Ace versus King on the lap already, and we got Sweeney back on an out lap there as well. So yeah, let's see how this is working out. So I think he's definitely going to be trying for a faster lap, just in case these guys do come a little bit closer to beating that lap time. So I don't think he wants to take the chance. Definitely enough time to work within the qualifying session to get it done. So he's definitely working on that right now. Alright, so he's getting through to sector 2 already. Let's see how it goes. So this is the very long straight down the back of the track. We're just about halfway through the track actually, where it's actually pretty good point to get some overtakes done during the race. So we'll see how much drivers actually use slipstream during that part of the track during the race session, and hopefully get some overtakes done. We'll see how that works out. Pretty heavy braking zone down at the end though, so they do have to tend to be careful not to overshoot that turn, because it does kind of result in some problems if you do. There is a bit of a runoff area, but really you don't want to be having to use that. And Sweeney just did a purple sector too, so definitely on for beating his own lap time right now. We didn't pay attention actually to the first sector time, how it went, so let's see how he finishes off this lap and how well it's gonna go for him. Hopefully we're putting some pressure on him by focusing on his car during qualifying. Maybe that'll make him mess up just a little bit. So Mirrorless currently is ahead by at least 1/10. I just did a faster time at 134.8, and let's see if that's gonna hold up here, and it doesn't look like it will, because that's a 133.7 from Sweeney. Now takes back his professional pole, and I think he's gonna keep that for now. So someone needs to get in a way faster time. So we got Vardy, he's invalidated his current lap. Aaron probably running a lap here as well. Let's see what he's working towards at the moment. Who else is currently running? We got a few more drivers I think running. So Taylor, he seems to have invalidated his lap time already. AP might be on a lap. He improved by one position up. He's at 135.6 right now. So quite a bit of a gap between most of our drivers here. Well, some of our drivers, I would say. A lot of 135s. So it shows where the grid is at the moment. Of course, we do have drivers from different skill levels all in this session, all driving here together. So it's going to be a bit of an interesting race, but it does look like Sweeney is having minimum competition out front. I think his competition basically is going to be maybe Gilligan and Mirrorless so far as it looks. For the two of them might be challenging him a little bit on the race start, but that does depend on if he gets away pretty well on lap 1. But we'll see how that works. So we still got Scott yet to make any sort of lap time in. And yeah, we'll see how he does. I think he's on a hot lap right now. Let's have a look actually and see what's happening here. So he's in sector 3 for about to finish that. So yeah, he is on a hot lap. Let's see how well he's gonna perform in that. So Esma did a 152, not a good lap on his end. He does need to try and improve that time as much as he can there right now. And he goes across the line. P3 actually not a bad time at 134.599, so quite an impressive time. Gilligan went 134.3, so we got our boys getting into the 134s, but Sweeney's already out of that zone. He's already into the 133s, so I'm not sure if they have enough qualifying left to try and beat him with his lap time there. Obviously Scott using a bit of the runoff area just because he's finished with his lap already. Spooner here on a very fast lap, looks to be flying here at the moment, so let's get on overhead cam with him and see if he's able to improve that 135, but maybe by at least 2.5 seconds or something. That will be pretty helpful at this point for him. But still quite a competitive grid with our 134s and 135s, and looks like Sweeney might be leading this race quite a bit out front if he gets a really good start, because he does seem to have some significant pace around this track. So it looks like he's gonna have a pretty good race here if things go well, as it looks so far. Alright, so that was a purple sector 2 there from Spooner. Let's see if he actually can. Oh, and he invalidated the lap. I think we might have spoken a bit too soon on that one there. That was probably my bad. And yeah, he's invalidated a lap. He does have enough time to go for another lap here, so let's see if he's gonna do that. I'm not sure if he will, or probably go back into the pits. I know a few other drivers are still running. We got a few drivers getting back on out laps here right now. Numerous is back on an out lap already as well. Let's have a look down at the bottom here. Looks like QB and S-Man both are on laps here at the moment. We got Sweeney back into the pits. I don't think he's probably gonna get her back to make another lap since he's quite a bit ahead of everyone else in terms of the lap times there. And I think the worst possible start he's gonna get is maybe P2, P3 if we have one or two drivers maybe going past that time. But a lot of things tend to happen now at the end of a qualifying session. So let's see what's gonna change at the end of this session. We got I think Vardy, is he on another lap there or not? Yes, did a purple sector 1, so we're gonna stay overhead with him as he finishes through this lap here. Let's see if he's able to improve upon his time that he currently has. So 135.1 for him so far. He needs to go at least 2 seconds faster if he wants to get a provisional pole at this point. And let's see what this sector 2 time is. Hopefully purple for his sake. And no, that's not a purple sector 2, but still might be a pretty good sector 2 time. But let's see as when he goes a little bit too on the inside on that curb and invalidates the lap. And looks like Mirrorless go. Someone just went up a position, I think. Not even sure who that was. I think that was probably Mirrorless, I'm not even sure. But yeah, so far Sweeney still holds on to provisional pole. Gilligan now holds on to second, and Spooner holds on to third. And Gilligan is out of the session. I think he might have, I'm not even sure if he retired in the pits or he had a bit of an incident on track. Either way, he's out with a 134.3. Not too bad of a time. Currently holds him in second for the race start here at Abu Dhabi. But let's see if that's going to hold on through to the end of qualifying here. As let's see, we got a few more drivers on their out laps right now. AP just starting another hot lap here. Let's see how this lap is going to work out for him. Seems to be flying through this lap so far, so let's see if he's able to carry that momentum through to the end and hopefully get a good finish to this qualifying lap, because we're just about to run out of time here as well. I don't think it was a purple sector 2, but hopefully for him a good lap maybe to move him up a few positions if possible at this point. So let's see how that finishes off here right now, because I think he's about to come to the end of his lap. There's a bit of a traffic in front of him, but I don't think that's going to get in the way because he's about to go across the line right now and goes up 2 positions, 135.3 in the 9th place. He goes there right now, so not too bad of a lap time from him. And let's see who else is currently running here. I think Aaron might be on a lap. Let's see, he's about to finish his lap here as well. As he goes across, I don't think he improved upon his time, 135.4. That's keeping him there in 11th right now. Let's see if Mirrorless is on a lap out here. No, he's not on a fast lap going. Scott might be on a fast lap going here. Still might be the only driver left on a fast lap going. So let's see how that works out. Taylor in the pits. He'll probably just retire off, and that's going to be it for him. So it looks like it's going to be a pole start for Sweeney here for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Looks like Gilligan is going to start in second, and Spooner might be starting in third. But we're just going to wait to see how that works out. But I think that's it. Everyone seems to be finished with qualifying there right now. I think we're just waiting on Mirrorless just to retire off of the session so we can continue on through to the race session and get this going. So let's wait for that just a bit here. Alright, so I think that's it, guys. Let's just have a look at our qualifying results, and then we're going to get straight into the 50% race. So that was actually quite interesting qualifying. A little more interesting than I expected to be actually too. So let's see what we got here. So Sweeney is on pole for the start with a 133.6, and Gilligan is going to start second with his 134.3. We got Spooner starting in third with a 134.5. Not too bad of a time. and actually tied Scott there in P4, but I think he probably got the time first, so 134.579. So both of them got the exact same time. Just depends on who got it first. We got Missy starting in 5th, Miller starting 6th, Taylor starting 7th, Vardy in 8th, AP starting 9th, we got Ace starting in 10th, Aaron starts 11th, Cletus starts 12th, Esma starts 13th, and QB is going to start there in 14th. And a bit of a mix-up strategy, as you can see with the tires. We got top 7 cars starting on the soft tires, and Vardy is going to start on the mediums. So let's see how that's going to work out as we get straight into that race session here right now. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be a 28 lap race around here, so going to be for pretty quick to read lap times as they are. So we got our formation lap going on right now, so Sweeney will lead them around until we get back around and just get everything warmed up, tires and brakes and whatnot up to temperature, and I think they're going to be good for the race start. Quite sure they got a bit of a practice off that, just starting grid as they just got moving there. So yeah. I think they're just going to get around, just get one last feel for the track before they actually get racing here for the final race for, I guess if you call this a season that they had going on under their sponsor, DL Boot Room there. So this is the final race for that. And I think we got something happening next week. I still didn't check the message to see what that was, but I'll probably do that before the end of the race. Or maybe if we have a safety car on this track, we'll see how that works out. And yep. So 2 Fridays away from starting the new season and the Friday Championship there, with the first race being at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Going to be a lot of fun to watch that happen. Always a fun race at that track, very high speed and a lot of opportunities for incidents to happen. We'll see how that works out when we do get to that point. And yeah, let's see. So we're in, where are we right now? We're in Sector 2, moving around the track here at the moment. Not moving too fast. So final 9th race of this current season as well. So a lot of fun watching these races here. And yeah, do look out for the fireworks down at the end of the race when the drivers get across the finish line. Always a lot of fun to watch. We do have that happen at, I think, where is it? At Singapore as well. It's a lot of fun watching the fireworks at the end of a race. So not a lot of races that actually happens at, but yeah, this being the final track that they usually race at the end of an F1 season. It always does tend to happen here. It's a lot of fun to actually watch. So we're going to keep an eye out for that. The end of the session, we'll try to catch it with the pole sitting driver going across the line for the wins, which well, we're not sure who that's going to be as yet, because this race can go either way. And we'll see how well it does go for Sweeney here, because he does have currently a pole position start. Let's see if he can convert that into a race win as well. And he's a pretty good driver. I've seen him drive before, so he might actually be able to do that. And S1 was just disqualified from the session, so was Cletus there. But they'll be set back on their grid either way. And I think we're just about ready to get going here. We're just waiting for everyone to get back into their grid slots and get sorted for that before we get started here. So for one final time, guys, we're going to get this going. And let's get the grid hit up. And yeah, we're going to get a good look at the front in just a bit here. There we go. That's what we're trying to get. Alright guys, and they're off. Let's see who gets a better go into turn one. Looks like Sweeney gets away pretty well actually, and I think he's going to get it wrong. Gilligan might have tried to cover the inside maybe a little bit, but didn't go too well for him. Everyone a bit spaced out. I don't think any incidents so far, so everyone gets through pretty well. A few position changes with a few cars going side by side through first few turns, and I think everyone's trying to slot into their racing line. So it's so well going pretty good so good far, and trying to see what's happening down in the back here. I think a little more action down in the back rather than the front, but I know quite a few position changes as well. Probably bring that up and leave that on the screen for just for now. Let's see what's happening down in the back here. So Ace is trying to get a good run off of Vardy there for that position. AP coming just behind as well. Probably keep on the overhead cam for that. See what's happening between these three here at the moment. Most of the grid have stayed right where they are from the start of the race. A few position changes as we can see going through. So let's see what's happening with these three here at the moment. I think AP is just watching on with the two cars in front of him. Let's have a look from his point of view what's happening here. Actually, I think he might have gone a little bit too much for the inside. Left a little room for QB to catch up to him here, and he's lost a bit of time right now. They've already out in front there in 9th position. And we're about to come to the end of the first lap. No safety car, no VSCs, maybe just yellow flags, so that's expected through the first lap. Oh, and Taylor is out of the race. What's happened to him here? Where is his car? I think we might have already went past it, or I think it's already on that turn. We already went past that. So first virtual safety car of the session. So something has happened to Taylor. I'm not sure what it was. We were trying to catch it out a bit, but we did unfortunately miss what exactly happened there. We got a few pit stops happening as well. Might have had a few damaged cars on that opening lap there. So we got Ace, we got Aaron and S-Man into the pits here right now. This is going to be quite a short VSC, not a full-on safety car. So they're going to have to be quick about getting into the pits and getting back out to avoid losing a lot of time here to the rest of the grid. So we got Sweeney still continuing to lead the race here right now with Gilligan in second, and we got Scott there in third. Spooner dropped the position down to fourth on that race start, switching position with Scott, and he's up a position onto the podium place right now. And let's see if we can keep that going through to the rest of the race. So Sweeney has close to a second of a gap between himself and Gilligan there in second, but he's going to try to extend that back as much as he can as we're back racing right now. The VSC is officially over, and our cars from the pit stop are trying to catch back up. So let's get some auto stats up on screen with tires here and see what's happening with them. And pit stop strategy as it is, looks like it's gonna be maybe an expected 2-stop, but it might end up being actually a 1-stop race here if these guys decide to push for just a bit of an aggressive strategy and go on to the hard tires to go to the end of the race, which I think definitely should be quite an easy strategy to run, not too aggressive here actually, depending on how hard the track is on tires. So let's see how that's going to work out, and let's just go down to AP here, as I think he has the closest gap to Vardy out in front of him, with Milner's just out in front there as well. So a bit of a train of cars going through the session here still, but AP trying to keep up with Vardy there in 7th place right now. And let's see how that's working out. So far Sweeney gets fastest lap in the session. DRS is now online as we're in lap 3 and going, and that fastest lap is switching around a bit from driver to driver as we continue on, but so far so good. Only one driver lost in the race so far. That was on the opening lap there. Not sure exactly what that incident was, but might have been an incident with another car and Taylor in, but I haven't seen any penalties handed out in a race so far. We've had about 3 pit stops with our cars down at the back, and maybe from a bit of damage that might have taken to the front wings on the race start. But so far so good in this race. We got just a very close gap between most of our cars. We have Mirrorless here trying to get side by side with Mitzi here to try and get a position up, and let's see if he's going to get that done. And there's a 3-way going around that final chicane, and it looks like it's Mitzi and Spooner fighting for the position as they go side by side, and Mirrorless is trying to get into the middle of that. He does get into the middle, up into 5th place ahead of Mitzi here right now. Let's see how that's working out, if he's able to keep that. I think Vardy is trying to catch up with them and get into that battle there as well. Yes, he is. Let's have a look. Oh, I think he fell back out just a bit, and bit of a contact happening there as well. So Mirrorless still continues in 5th with Mitzi there in 6th, and let's see how that's continuing on going. So it's still a bit of a train going through. and I think there was some contact. I'm not sure if any damage was taken as yet with these, about 4 or 5 of them going through at the same time. And AP is now getting in that battle as well, as he's right behind Vardy and Cumming, and Sweeney gets the next fastest lap, 1:38 now. And that's another penalty handed out. So Mitzi and AP both have, I think, 3-second penalties in this race so far. And that's a car spinner wrong, and that was AP, I think, spinning around there. So he's having not too great of a race down at the back, falling down to 10th position so far. As we're continuing on through with Vardy chasing down Mitzi for 6th place. Let's see how that's going. Out front, Sweeney has a gap of about 2.4 seconds ahead of Gilligan. There's Scott running in P3, about another 1.2 seconds behind, and Spooner another 5 seconds. And he has quite a few cars behind him for company right now. We got yellow flags in sectors 1 and 2, but that's over actually pretty quickly. One lap 4 running off 28. So let's see what's happening out front here as Mirrorless is trying to go side by side. And go ahead of Spooner. Looks like he got the move done already down that straight there in sector 2. So he's up into 4th place. That's Spooner down to 5th right now. So he's lost quite a few positions from this race start. And Scott's still holding on to P3 there at the moment as he is. And we're going to continue on. Let's see what's happening with Mitzi and Vardy down at the back here. I think the two of them are trying to switch positions right now. So it's currently Vardy in 6th, Mitzi in 7th. Does have that penalty to worry about. And trying to hold on to his position as much as he can. AP down to 11th position there right now. Has not taken out any pit stop or anything he is yet. So just not too great of a race start for him. Now we got Macy locking up just a bit right now as he's trying to keep up with the cars out in front of him. Oh, and that's someone losing control down at the back, and that is Mitzi losing at probably the rear end of his car, putting it into the wall, and he's going to get back going. Yes, has some major damage to that front wing, and he's going to fall down quite a bit. Let's have a look what's happening out front here now. So Vardy running in 6th position here at the moment, with Spooner there in 5th. So these guys not doing too bad at all at the moment, but does take someone else does take another penalty there. I think that was Spooner. Yes, he did take another penalty. Sweeney still leads out front. 3.7 seconds that gap is between him and Gilligan there right now. So he's doing pretty well for himself, running a pretty good strategy. Has a lot of clean air in front of him to work with, and is getting away pretty well, building up quite a bit of a gap. So even if he does get at least one penalty in the race, I don't think it's going to really affect him too much, and not too worried about that. Scott still running in P3. Miller's still up to P4. Does have some pressure coming behind with Spooner trying to get past, and he has taken 2 penalties so far, which is going to affect his race position down at the end. We'll see how that works out for him though, but he's still running a pretty good position in the race as he's trying to get past Mirrorless for P4 right now, and looks like he might have gotten that position done. Back onto the racing line. Mirrorless goes down to 5th right now, and he's going to try and catch back up. Does have some pressure coming behind with Vardy trying to catch him and get that position up as well. And gap is under a second, so will have that DRS advantage available to him. Down in the back, I see we got, I think, Cletus and Ace pretty close to each other, and trying to chase down QB for P7. We'll see how that works out. So, Mitzi and AP not having the best of races. They're falling down all the way down in 12th and 13. Both of them are taking pit stops very recently, the previous lap, I think. And we got Mirrorless. Let's see, he's going into the pits here right now. So I'll start to see some more pit stops happen as we reach this point in the race. And let's see what strategies are going to be running, because Mitzi and AP went onto the mediums. They might actually be able to go to the end of the race on those mediums as well. We'll see how that works, because I think that's what the strategy plan is here right now. I don't think they're doing 2 stops in this race. I'm not sure as yet, but I would assume they will be able to run at least 20 laps on those mediums, but I know they can do it on the hard. I'm not sure about the mediums on this track, depending on how hard the track is again on the tires. So we got Ace chasing down Cletus here for 7th position. Let's see if he's able to get that position up or not. And I think Cletus is actually getting a bit closer to QB there for that position if he can. Oh, and there goes QB went just a little bit too wide, I think. So Ace is trying to get a bit of an advantage, trying to get back ahead here. Let's see if that's working out. And looks like he's going to get a good run on QB down to the chicane here. And looks like he gets that position up. So he goes up into 6th. That's QB down to 7th right now. Spooner and Vardy out front. What's happening with the two of them here switching positions right now? So Vardy's up to 4th right now. Spooner now down into 5th. And let's see if that's going to make any more changes happening through as we continue on here. Sweeney now has a gap of 5.4 seconds, gained about 2 seconds in the last lap time there. So he's gaining some significant time right now from Gilligan there in second, and Gilligan I think gaining a bit of time as well from Scott, who's running in third. So that's working out pretty well for top three so far. They don't have any penalties, so let's see how they continue on through with that. We got Spooner getting into the pits here right now, so let's see if that's working out for him. Going down to Clears there in 8th. That's QB with a penalty there right now as well, so he's feeling the pressure that's coming off Cletus behind him. Let's see what's happening down in the back here, because I see Mitzi is just about getting to about, oh, and he just gets by S-Man up into 11th position he goes. And looks like S-Man is having some trouble down at the back there, keeping control of his car right now. So Mitzi up into 11th and already has a gap going. And let's see what's happening. So Spooner is out of the pits here right now, and he came out just behind of Aaron there, who's currently in 9th. He's on fresh mediums right now. Let's see if he's going to get a good run down this straight and maybe get a bit of an advantage to get by. It looks like he does. Gets side by side with Aaron and gets up into 9th place already. Should be able to take back the racing line quite comfortably and get around. S-Man is out of the session, and I think he might have retired. I think that happened on track, so that's a virtual safety car. He's into the wall there. I don't know if that was intentional or not, because I think he was racing by himself there. I'm not sure how that happened. But yeah, another virtual safety car for that incident happening on track. As we got Sweeney might be going to the pits. And yes, he is. He's using this to its advantage here right now. 7.6 seconds is a gap between him and Gilligan in second. And he's decided to go for his pit stop here right now. Might be going on to the mediums as well to go to the end of the race. Let's have a look. And it looks like he is going to go to the mediums. And yep, that should be able to take him to the end of the race, especially at this point on. We're here right now. And quite a few more pit stops happening behind him. We got Gilligan, Scott, and Vardy all into the pits here at the moment. And I think everyone's going on to the same strategy there. And we got Vardy. He's going on to the hards here right now because he was on the mediums. And that is Sweeney with a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. That's just about to kill his race here right now, because we got the VSC is already over. So he has the next 3 laps to do that drive-through penalty or face being disqualified from the race here right now. So started a great qualifying session, qualified on pole, started the race on pole, kept the race lead going through from lap 1 up to this point, and now just made a silly mistake and does have that drive-through penalty to deal with. So he's gonna have to do that on the upcoming 3 laps that he has. So let's see when he does decide to do it, and that's gonna cost him a few positions here, because he does have cars just a few seconds behind, so they're definitely going to be able to get by, and he's going to have to work his way back up the field and try to get those positions back. We got, let's see what's happening here right now. We got Vardy chasing down Mirrorless for P5 right now. Let's see how that battle is going. He's going side by side already. It looks like he's trying to get the position up, and does get it done already. Up into P5, Mirrorless down to 6 right now, and he's lost that position. What's happening with Spooner and Scott down at the back here? I think Spoon is trying to get up into 7. Let's see how that's going to work out. Vardy already up another position there, I think, because I think Clint just fell down about 2 positions. Let's have a look what's happening out front here. So Mirrors up into 5th, trying to chase Vardy down still for back to get back his position here. But I think he just fell down about 2 positions there, and let's see if he's going to be able to get back up. So Sweeney is into the pits right now doing his drive-through penalty. Let's see how much positions that's going to set him back on this occasion here. Where is he at the moment? He's getting back out here right now. As we know, this has actually cost him a great deal. He's down into P3 right now, but not too far off. He's about 6.4 seconds behind Ace, and Gilligan now leads the race. So he's in 3rd place, and it looks like he might get a good chance of getting back up to his P1 position if he can challenge these guys in front of him. Especially, I think he's most likely going to be Gilligan. That's going to be his main target there, but he has to get past Ace first. Let's see how that's going to work out for him, as we're going to continue on with Mirrorless chasing down Vardy here for P4, and looks like he's going to get it. Went a little bit too close to that barrier. I'm not sure if he took any damage. Doesn't seem to be, because he does have both end plates on. And yeah, still trying to fight Vardy for P4. Has to still holding on for P5 right now, at least. Has some company coming behind him, but I don't think he's too worried about it. I think he's a bit closer to getting by Vardy here, and it looks like he does get by. Goes up into P4, and that's Vardy now down into P5. Let's see if Vardy is able to get the position back though, because he has Scott and Spooner who caught up quite closely to him, and are going to chase him down for that position there. So Sweeney already breaking the gap down out front by about 2 seconds between himself and Ace, and he's catching up pretty quickly. So that's going to be an overtake happening pretty soon. We'll keep an eye to see when that's coming on. We got Spooner trying to get past Scott here for P6 at the moment. So yeah, so far guys, it's only 2 drivers out of the session. A few penalties handed in the race so far, unfortunately, but we'll see how that affects race position down at the end. And we got Aaron here getting... Well, he's already got Bascles. Bascles just went into the pit, so let's go back up here with the battle between Vardy, Scott, and Spooner, and Mirrorless as well. I think he's still in that, as he's starting to get out of Vardy out of his DRS range there right now. But we're gonna keep on Scott here right now, because he has a car ahead and a car behind of him, all pretty close together. So let's see how this is working out. Gap out front is breaking up quite a bit, and between Ace and Sweeney, so we're keeping a close eye on that to see how that's gonna go here right now. Looks like Scott might get quite a good run. Takes the outside bravely, and looks like he gets up into the position already. Up into P5 he goes. That's Vardy down to 6th. Does have Spooner still coming just behind him. I think Spooner has a much closer gap to work with. He's definitely trying to get around Vardy for that position right now for P6. Let's keep an eye on board probably and see what's happening here. So it looks like Scott is getting a pretty good gap going on Mirrorless out front for that position there as well. I think we have a pretty good go at it from Vardy's position here. Sweeney now gets the fastest lap, so he's catching up. Already in DRS range of Ace here. Looks like he's going to be getting that overtake out of the way pretty quickly. So let's keep an eye on him and see what's happening here, as he's catching up very, very quickly at the moment. Still running P3, but he's about to get into P2 if he can get his overtake done without taking any damage here, or any penalties as well. Which might happen down the run on this straight here right now, because he's going to have that DRS advantage, and he goes for it side by side. Looks like he's going to get up that position quite comfortably. Gets back to the racing line. Let's see. Yep, he does get up into 2nd quite comfortably here. So great overtake move from him. That puts Ace versus King down to P3 at the moment. So he's going to have to try and keep up with Sweeney as much as he can. Maybe try to get a tow going to Gilligan there out front, who's currently leading the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We're in lap 11 right now. We're going to get to the halfway point of this race very, very soon. And let's see what's happening down in the midfield here right now between Vardy and Spooner. And we got a switch between Scott and Mirrorless there. Let's see if that's going to be a re-switch back happening, because gap is still pretty close between the two of them. I think Spooner is getting a bit closer now for comfort here behind Vardy, trying to get by, and he does have DRS advantage to him right now, and it's on the faster tires as well. It's only a lap older than Vardy's hard, so still should be in quite a good position to try and get that overtake done. Let's see if that's working out. So Sweeney's now going to try and break the gap down out to Gilligan out front to get the lead of the race, and let's see how well that's going to work for him. So far he's still following on with Spooner here, as he's still chasing down Vardy for P6, and we got Mirrorless and Scott still fighting it out for P4 as well. So 2 great battles going on, and I think Spooner's getting quite close to Vardy at the moment, as we're trying to follow from the overhead cam here. And let's see how close this gap is actually getting. Looks like he might get a good run here, might be able to take it on the inside, and looks like he's going to try it. Nope, he's actually going to hold it back for now. Doesn't want to risk it right now. So let's Vardy keeps the 6th position for now. Might be trying it on next lap though. Currently in the DRS range. Actually, he's going to try it around here and takes it on the outside. Let's see if he gets that position up, and does get it up into 6th right now, and might actually still be able to hold it there. So that's Vardy down to 7th position right now. And let's see if he's able to get that back. It looks like he's going to continue on 7 for just a bit. Miller still has a gap under a second between him and Scott there for P4, so that's a bit of a battle going on still, and it's still half a second between Spooner and Vardy here for 6th position right now. So we're going to keep an eye on this and see how it continues on through. Gap out front between Gilligan and Sweeney is currently 3.8 seconds as it is, and let's see if that's breaking down any faster or not, because he seemed to have lost about 10 there for a second, Sweeney there. So let's see if he's able to catch back up to Gilligan and get that position up. I think a gap between Spooner and Vardy is starting to go away, maybe just a little bit as it's gone, just over a second there right now, so getting onto that DRS range. So let's see what's happening here. I think the same is happening between Scott and Mirrorless at the moment. Actually does have the DRS advantage still as he goes down the straight there in Sector 2. But I don't think he's going to get close enough to get the overtake done. He's going to have to hold it on in P5 for now. So I think we can call this at least being around the halfway point here for the race. On lap 13 right now of 28. Getting into lap 14 here pretty soon. So let's see how that's going to continue on. And this gap has actually come back again pretty close. About half a second between Scott and Mirrorless for P4. So keeping an eye on this again as we continue on. Gap out front between Sweeney and Gilligan is now about 3 seconds, now down to 2.9 seconds. So it does seem like the gap is starting to break down. It was about 4 seconds about a lap ago. So I think that's starting to go somewhere there as well. And he has the half of the race left to try and get back up into the lead of the race. And let's see if he's going to be able to get that done. Currently we're still following on with Scott and Mirrorless, and we still got the gap between Spooner and Vardy, which has now gotten back under a second once again. I think we got to the halfway point of the race actually pretty quickly. So let's see how the rest of this race goes, because I think 2 interesting battles have been going on since the start to this point. Is between Scott and Mirrorless for P4 and Spooner and Vardy there for P6. Bit of a gap between those 2 battles, about 2 seconds between. We're not too far off actually, so let's see if anyone is actually getting held up here. Because I want to see if Vardy does get past Spooner, will he be able to catch up to Mirrorless and Scott out front to fight for that position there? But it doesn't seem to be happening so far, because we have had a bit of a switch happen between Spooner and Vardy down there for 6th position a few times already, and just seems to stay right there where it is. Going back down to Vardy at the back, let's see how close he's able to get to Spooner here. Not getting as close as he would like here right now. He's still in that DRS range, but starting to get a little bit closer right now, braking a little bit late, and just trying to get a better exit off of these turns just to keep up, locking up a bit as well. And seems to be pushing as much as he can here right now. So hopefully those tires last him pretty well to the end of the race. We'll see how that strategy is working out. But Ace there on 11 laps with his mediums already. So I'm not sure how his strategy is going to work out to go to the end of the race on those tires. They'll be pretty worn if he does try to push them all the way to the end. We'll see how that works out for him though. I think these two might be chasing each other around for the rest of the race here. So a bit of a fight for 4th and a bit of a fight for 6th. And it does seem like that might actually continue on to the end. of the race. We're not sure about that as yet. We're trying to keep an eye, see how that's working out. But the gap is being maintained at least less than a second, so they're keeping each other in the DRS range and having that advantage going through. But just not getting them close enough to get the overtake done as yet. But let's see how that's gonna work out for Vardy here. He's still keeping his gap as close as he can. So is Mirrorless out there for P4. He's trying to fight for that position. Out front, I got Sweeney about to get his gap under a second between him and Gilligan here. So let's have a look on this battle, how it's continuing on through. And that gap just went under a second. Vardy and Spooner have switched positions there. So I think they have switched. Yep, so that's Vardy up to 6, Spooner down to 7. AP gets another penalty down at the back there. Not having the best of races. He's running in P10 right now. It's about getting down to half a second now between Gilligan and Sweeney, and he's catching up very, very quickly on lap 16. We did expect maybe a little later in the race for him to actually get this catch up over with, but he's getting it done with now and wants to get back into the lead of the race. As he's getting behind Gilligan here, let's see if he has that DRS advantage already. I think he might. And he's using a bit of overtake there right now. Let's see how that works out. Gets quite close actually to Gilligan there, but still about half a second behind. So I think he needs to close the gap just a little bit more, but I think that might be over by the end of lap 17. He might actually be able to get that overtake done. So let's keep an eye and see how this goes on. Actually, it looks like he's going to get it done right now. He's taking the inside already on that turn there, the exit of the pit lane, and yep, gets that overtake done with pretty quickly. Gilligan tries to come back at him, but not getting enough of a gap to go with. I just want to risk going ahead, or maybe is really not going to be fighting him on this occasion here. So that's when he back up into the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and Gilligan down to second, and he just might continue the same way as it is right now, going to the end of the race. But does depend on strategy for pit stops as well. But I don't think these two have to stop again. They are only 7 laps so far on the mediums, which I'm quite sure they'll be able to push to the end of the race. Ace versus King there though in P3. I'm not sure how his strategy is working out because he's 13 laps on those tires already and has a bit way more to go. Still got about 11 to 12 laps left in the race. So he's going to have to push that much more on those tires if he's going to be able to take them to the end of the race. We'll see how that works out. But it's a bit of a tough call for him getting to that point. So we're going back with Vardy here, who's currently in 7, chasing down Spooner for P6 here still right now. So I think these two actually switch their positions back again. Now I think we got AP up into 9 there right now. So I think he might have gotten a position ahead of Aaron. Either that or Aaron, I think, did a pit stop, which is why he's there. Or maybe Cletus did a pit stop, I'm not sure. But someone did a pit stop, I think, down at the back there. Might have been Cletus there, who's currently in 12, because he's on 0 laps with his new mediums that he's currently on. We're still following on with Vardy as he's getting quite a good run on Spooner here. Takes it on the inside, and let's see if he gets that position up. Looks like he gets it for now, but definitely Spooner's going to come back at him. Almost loses a car, actually, trying to get on the power a bit too early, I think. And he's back on it right now, and he's lost a few tenths actually to him, and trying to get that going. I think got a bit of a situation happening. Oh, and AP has spun around, has some damage to the car. He's gonna have to try and get back going again. I assume he's driving with his wheel on this race here, but doesn't seem to be having the best of luck trying to keep the car together. But he's gonna continue on through, so he's now down back to 10th. Let's see if that's going to work out for him as we get back to Spooner here, who's still chasing down. Oh, we got BT down at the 8 right now. So he's trying to catch up still. About 15 seconds though, so quite a bit of a gap to work with him. He got Mirrors into the pits right now. Let's see what he's going. So he's going for his second pit stop. And goes down to a new set of medium tires and he's going to get back out. Let's see where he does come back out though. So a bit of a gap behind, but I think that's going to go. It looks like he might get out behind Mitzi here. Let's see how that works out for him. On lap 18 right now running, so we got just about 10.5 laps left in the race to go. So he gets out behind me. He is about a second between the two of them, and he's on fresh medium, so he should, we expect him to actually be able to catch up to me and try to get away with 7 plates. Let's see if he's going to get that going. So should be able to get a good run on Mitzi down that straight, and looks like he actually might. Let's see if he tries to take it around the inside, and does actually, pushing himself up into 7th here right now. Gets back onto the line pretty quickly. And that is AP out of the race. I think he's retired in the pits just to not cause any chaos on track, or cause maybe a safety car or VSC with that. So he's retired into pits. He's out of the race. That's 11 drivers remaining here right now to finish the final race. Unfortunate for him, he was not able to finish the final race for the community for the Friday session here. But still, we got about 11 drivers in this. Let's see how this is going to work out here right now. As gaps as they are, I think the closest is what we got with Scott here out front. He is just under a second behind Ace there for P3, so he's trying to fight for a podium position. Of course, he does have penalties. Let's see what penalties are at the most. So just a 3-second penalty for Scott, so not too bad to work with actually. And we got 3 seconds for Mirrorless and Mitzi and QB as well. Only Spooner with 6 seconds of penalties, which definitely is going to affect his race, but we'll see how much that affects it as we continue on through here with this session here. So Mirrorless into the pits, goes down to 6th position there right now. Let's see what's happening with Scott. He's chasing down Ace. He's definitely trying to get a position up, and Ace, being on much older tires, is doing a pretty good job of keeping that position. Of course, the gap has broken down quite a bit here right now, so let's see if Scott will be able to get by and maybe get onto a podium position. And I hope that Ace takes another pit stop and gives him a bit of a room to work with. It looks like he's getting by here right now. Gets up into P3, so he's finally gotten back that position. He did had it earlier in the race, and that puts Ace down into P4 here right now. So those tires are starting to probably give up on him just a little bit, or maybe just losing a bit of traction, a bit of grip on tracks. But either way, he's down to 4th. And let's see how that continues on, and how that's going to work out for him as we continue with the race on here right now. On lap 20 of 28, that's about 8 to 8.5 laps left to go in the race session here right now. So this will be about 17 laps done on, oh, and I think he's going into the pits right now. Yes, he is. So definitely feels like those tires have done their share of the work. So let's see where he's going to get out back on track here right now. Might be going on, definitely, he is going on to a new set of soft tires right now. So plans to do quite a bit of pushing on the final few laps of the race, and hopefully get a position or two back up. I think he might try to at least get back up to P4 if he can. I'm not sure, but he's going to come out probably in P6 here right now. We do have Mitzi coming around here already. Let's see. It's going to be a bit close between the two of them. And he gets out quiet just a bit in front of Mitzi, actually, just about under a second in front. So has fresh tires, should be able to get away pretty well. And has a gap about 5.2 seconds. So let's see, that's Mirrorless out in front. So let's see how well he's able to catch up. Spooner here, on the other hand, trying to chase down Mitzi for P7. And looks like he's getting that position up quite easily, as he's on fresh softs as well. So goes up, and he's going to chase after Ace versus King for P6 if he can here right now. So a bit of a mix of strategies on a track for this final race, and seems to be working out pretty well though for most of our drivers going through. Sweeney still leading the race up front, and he's back into the pits right now for his second pit stop, and did have that drive view penalty, which kind of cost him a little bit in this race. So he's in for his second pit stop. He's going on to a set of soft tires here right now, and let's see, we don't have Gilligan into the pits. He's still out on track running. Let's see where Sweeney comes back out here right now. Bit of a tricky pit lane to get back out. Let's see, Luke drive under the track just a little bit as he's getting back out here right now. I think we got Scott coming around, so let's see how that's working out for him. So he gets out in front of Scott by about 1.3 seconds ahead, and now has a gap of about 13.7 seconds to Gilligan out front. Spooner gets the fastest lap currently, but I think that's going to be switching around just a bit as a few drivers on the soft tires now. So trying to see how fast Sweeney is going to be able to catch up here right now to Gilligan. Has about 7.5 laps to catch up to him and get past if Gilligan doesn't plan on doing a second pit stop. But I think he might have to. It depends on how much grip is actually left on those tires and how fast Sweeney is going to be able to break the gap down to him. But we'll see how that works out here right now, because we're trying to keep an eye on Spooner down at the back in P7, and he's still chasing down Ace, trying to get that position up if he can. Gap is less than a second between the two of them, so there is that DRS advantage for him to work with there right now. And I think he is actually gaining time. He should actually be gaining time because he is on a much faster tire and going. But we'll give that a few laps to see how that's working out there at the moment. At least let's have a look at that at the end of 2 laps and see where we are, because it's just over 12 seconds right now, the gap between Gilligan and Sweeney, and I think that's coming down pretty quickly. Yep, it definitely is. So Gilligan might have to think about doing a pit stop, because I don't think he's going to be able to hold the lead all the way to lap 28 at this point. I think that's just a little bit too much lap for him to try to keep the race lead alive, because it's breaking down probably over a second per gap. For a lap here, sorry, and actually might break down about 2 seconds per lap. So I think Sweeney's onto something, and he definitely might be getting that overtake done coming closer to the end of the race, even maybe before. So it's a bit of a close call between Gilligan and Sweeney there. We'll see how that works out, but I think Gilligan might have to try hold on to the lead if he wants, but I think it might just be wise to just do the pit stop and just settle it for a second for this race. But being the final race, I'm not sure what his plans are going to be, because that gap is coming on pretty quickly. Definitely he's going to be losing out on the lead, so he might as well take a pit stop and try to get onto the soft tires and try to get second and stay on the podium for the race finish. Might be the best strategy for him to work with, as we're following on with Spooner. Our gap is about 1.5 seconds between him and Ace here right now for 6th place. Let's see if that's going anywhere now, because both of them are on fresh soft tires and going through. And yep, out front, that gap is breaking down pretty quickly. We'll be switching to that in just a bit, as we're watching here right now between Ace and Spooner. Gap is now under a second between the two of them. So it does look like Spooner is catching up, but it's kind of going and coming just a bit. So we got to keep an eye and see what exactly is going to be happening with these two for 6th place right now. And that is currently Sweeney with the fastest lap at 1:36 there, as he continues on through. So he now holds on to that. I'm not sure who's potentially going to get a driver of the day on this one. Let's have a look on position changes as they were. So it looks like the highest position up is Vardy with 4. So maybe he might be getting that, because it looks like he might get a position up from Scott, with Scott having a penalty of 6 seconds there, and him having no penalty. If he can keep that up, he'll probably be able to snatch a podium position at the end of this race, which would not be so bad for him getting to the end of the final race for the current season. So let's see if he's able to get onto the podium before the end of the race, or he's going to have to wait to get an automatic podium here or not. We'll see how that works out for him. But so far so good. Out front with Sweeney catching up. He's about 5.7 seconds now behind Gilligan there. So let's see if he's going to plant to just try and hold Sweeney up there in second to get the race win, because neither of them have any penalties. So it's just going to be about who gets across the line first, unless someone is going to be getting a penalty. We'll see how that works out. But I think it's a little past time for Gilligan to do a pit stop right now, because he's lost about half of the lead that he had, and that's not going to be coming back anytime soon. So if he does do that stop right now, he definitely should be getting back out in second, or at this point will be able to fight back for second place, even if he does come out in third, depending on how long a pit stop takes around here. But yeah, he's going to have to decide what exactly he's going to be doing, because we're on lap 24 of 28 right now, about 4.5 laps left to go. So he needs to decide if he wants to do that pit stop to get onto the soft tires or not, or if he's going to be pushing those mediums all the way to the end. And it looks like he's definitely going to be pushing the mediums all the way to the end, because it doesn't look like he's planning on doing a pit stop. And it looks like Spooner almost lost the rear end of his car for a second there, but I think he caught it back pretty good. He's going to continue on with that. It seems like we have a switch between Cletus and QB down at the back for 10th and 11th position. Yes, that seems to be a switch actually. as this gap is still under a second between Ace and Spooner here for P6 right now, and we're still following the gap out front with Gilligan and Sweeney for the lead of the race and a potential race win here, and his gap is now about 2.6 seconds between the two of them, so he's catching up pretty quickly. And what's happening here, we got a bit of a switch between Scott and Vardy for P3, so looks like Vardy gets a position up. Scott might have made a mistake at some point and lost that position there now, so that's Vardy already up to P3 on his hard tires, and he might be able to hold it, but let's see, Scott is coming back at him and trying to get it back here right now. He does have that penalty, so Vardy will still be able to get it as long as he keeps within 6 seconds actually off Scott, and he's actually able to do that quite easily at this point in the race. So let's see, he's already back down to 4th. Scott took back his position on the podium, and at least he'll be able to cross the line into the podium. And we got out front, Sweeney is now caught up quite well to Gilligan here. He's about half a second behind, less than half a second actually, and definitely going to get that overtake out of the way pretty soon as they're going to get to that straight section there in sector 2, and I don't think he's going to risk it here right now. He might just hold off on the overtake until they get around this. Oh yeah, he's actually going to go for it on the inside before they even get around to that straight and get a better exit, and already gets up the position up into the lead of the race. That is Gilligan down into 2nd place, and a gap of about 19 seconds to Scott behind, so still has enough time if he really wants to do this pit stop or not, but I don't think he's going to do it. He's going to continue on there in 2nd and take that podium position for a race finish, which should not be too bad of a position to finish in. So on lap 25 as they continue on here through. We're about to get into lap 26 pretty shortly as they're getting into sector 3 right now, and that gap is already starting to build just a bit between Sweeney and Gilligan. They're going back down to Scott, who is about half a second behind. Oh, and loses his car into the wall, and that's going to be a safety car. We're probably only going to have about 1 lap of racing left here right now. So that is Scott out of the race. Did have quite a good position though. I'm not sure what happened and how he lost the car into the wall there for that incident. Unfortunate for him, but fortunate for Sweeney. He got the overtake done before the safety car happened. Let's see if Gilligan... Oh, and they're all doing... Are they doing pit stops right now? Yep, they are doing pit stops. I'm not sure why Sweeney has decided to do a pit stop here on this occasion. He is on fresh tires. I don't think he wants to take the chance of Gilligan trying to get an overtake done on him by getting fresh tires on before the safety car it goes back in. So I think the chance he took is actually working out pretty well for him, because Gilligan did pit as well. I think he knew that was going to happen, so he did do that pit stop, and I think he's going to get back out into the lead of the race still. Let's see how that's working out for him here right now. So yeah, Sweeney does get back out into the lead of the race, gets behind the safety car here right now, and is going to continue on at least for a lap or 2. I think we're going to have at least 2 laps of racing left at the end by the time the safety car is ready to go in. Yes, so Vardy actually takes over 2nd place between Sweeney and Gilligan there. He got in between the two of them, but I don't think that's going to last pretty long. I think Gilligan is going to get a pretty easy run to get past him, and I think he might just fall back down into P3 because Mirrorless didn't pit there, and most of the cars on the back did not pit either, except for Aaron there. He did a pit stop, and he's on fresh soft tires to go to the end of the race here right now. So let's see how this is going to work out here, because Vardy is going to be in the middle of this, and I don't think it's going to go too well for him. He might fall back down into 3rd place unless he's actually able to hold off the car behind for about 2 laps. He might be able to keep that position if he's able to do that. We'll have a look at that. We're going to come to the end of the safety car pretty quickly. I don't think that's going to take too much time to get that sorted out with the grid in terms of... Oh, and there we already have the safety car is already going to come in on this lap. So that's not taking too long, and we're going to have at least 3 laps of racing to go. Actually, my bad, it's just about 2 laps of racing. We're about to go into lap 27 to get back racing. So lap 27, 28, is going to be of racing here. So we're going to keep probably on Vardy here. Let's see how this restart is about to go. I think most of our cars are trying to get back a bit close to each other, at least for the top 6 cars, top 7 cars there. Yeah, so safety car is back in, and we're just about to get back racing here as they're about to get around the final turn here right now. And I think they already got to go on it, and let's see if Gilligan is going to get an overtake done pretty quickly here. I think Miralles is looking to get his overtake done with pretty fast on Gilligan to try and get up into P3. It looks like he gets that position up. Does still have penalties to deal with though, so we'll see how that works out. As Sweeney continues on out in front in the lead, and Vardy still continues in second, still under a second behind. Sweeney to try and fight for a lead race. But his tires are pretty old, so I don't think he'll be able to challenge Sweeney for that position there. Already falling back just a bit right now, 1.5 seconds behind Sweeney as he continues on through. And we got Miralles still running in third. He got that position up on the safety car restart, and he's trying to keep Gilligan down there in fourth as much as he can right now. And gap is actually still pretty close between them, as well as Ace versus King down there in P5. So a bit of a train coming down for fighting here for P2 right now. Actually, more likely for P3 than P2, because it looks like Vardy might be able to keep that P2 position if Miralles is going to be under so much pressure from Gilligan down behind. The gap is just about half a second though, so Gilligan is actually being held up here right now by Miralles if he's not able to get by and challenge Vardy for second place. And it looks like Vardy might get second place on the podium, and it might be Gilligan getting third instead of second here. So we'll see how this works. But it looks like the safety car did not work out too well for him, but he's trying to get around Miralles right now to get back into third place, and looks like he might have gotten a position up. Still going a bit side by side with him though, and let's see what that comes, because he has got about 2 other cars behind trying to fight for the position as well. Because we got Mitzi and Ace still fighting for that true, but let's see, Gilligan seems to have gotten the position up. Miralles is right behind his car, still coming though, and I think Mitzi was trying to take it on the inside. We got a bit of contact happening, some carbon fiber flying around. Ace versus King might have taken some damage. I'm not sure if Gilligan took some damage as well. He's lost a right end plate on his front wing, but he's gotten the position up into P3 right now. Ace has gotten up into 4th, and Miralles down to 5th. Mitzi there running in 6th. So that's going to continue on as it is. Vardy still holds on to 2nd place as it is. Has a gap of 1.5 seconds as we're on the final lap and going here right now, with Sweeney leading out front by about 5.4 seconds. So he's still running pretty well. Going down to Mitzi here in 6th. He's still trying to catch up to Miralles to get another position up before the end of the race, if he can here right now. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to break that gap down in time to get it done, because he's just under a second just getting into the DRS range, so just not close enough to actually get that done. And Spooner takes a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting there right now. Gilligan is actually still pretty close off to Vardy here. This might actually be pretty close between these two coming down to the end of the race for P2 on the podium. Let's see how that's going to work out, because it looks like Gilligan might be able to get by. I'm not sure, but we got Sweeney about to go across the line in just a bit here. So let's have a look at him. So yeah, that is, he led most of this race and actually qualified on pole, started on pole, and there goes our lovely fireworks as always. So he did get the fastest lap on the final lap, so I think that's going to be pole position for him, and the fastest lap as well. Not too bad as well for him. Let's see what's happening with 2nd place. So Vardy looks like he got his 2nd place even on those 20 lap old hard tires. Gilligan there finishing P3 right now, and we got Ace takes P4, Aaron takes 5th, and Miralles is going to take 6. Basically takes 7. Of course, penalties did affect positions just a bit, and that is Spooner going across in 8th position, goes straight into the wall as well. And Cletus are coming around for 9th right now. How far away is he? So he's about to get around the final few turns and get around across the line. So 9th place for him. We still got 10 drivers finishing the race. Scott unfortunately could not finish here. Alright, so that's Cletus going across the line. So he takes 9th, and we got QB going around to take 10th position here. So always a fun race around here, and yep, that was actually quite an interesting one. So not too bad on that one. Hey AP, unfortunate you could not finish this race. being it was the final race for that set. But either way, we got a new championship coming up in 2 weeks, so looking forward to getting that done. And yeah, I think that was an interesting race. Let's have one last look at our race results before we close off on this session here. So driver of the day goes to Ace versus King. Not too bad on him. Good job on him for getting that. And I think our pole position race win goes to Sweeney, as well as fastest lap as well. Let's see if he did get a fastest lap. I think he got fastest lap on the final lap that he did there. Alright, so let's have a look at the results. So yeah, Sweeney did get fastest lap and takes the race win. Vardy takes second place on those very whole hard tires. He was actually able to hold on all the way to the end and keep Gilligan behind, who finished there in third. And we got Ace finishing fourth. Aaron finishes fifth. And Ace, by the way, got driver of the day on that one. Ramirez got 6, Mitzi takes 7, Spooner takes 8, Clears takes 9, QB takes 10. Unfortunately, not finishing the race was Scott there in 11, AP in 12, S-Man in 13, Taylor in 14. Unfortunate for them, but still was actually quite an interesting race, especially with qualifying, getting through to the race. And congratulations to our podium finishers there, to Sweeney, Vardy, and Gilligan for that. And Ace getting driver of the day, not too bad of a session. So thank you guys for joining on. And don't forget to leave a like on the video. Remember to subscribe if you're new around here for more races, as we have quite a few races during the course of a week. So until the next race, guys, which might be a little later this afternoon, let's see how that works out.